You so lonely and sick of being single? Well, here's some dating tips that'll land you a girl in 24 hours or less. Next time you're on a date, tell her that your dream job is being a stay-at-home dad. That you want her to have the opportunity of a lifetime and provide for you. And if she asks you any questions that you feel uncomfortable with, pull out that Uno reverse card and make her answer it. It's legally binding. Last but not least, forget to bring your debit card. This will make her have to pay for your meal. And if it doesn't work out between you two, at least you got a free meal out of it. Follow for more tips! Next time you're on your first date, take her to the worst restaurant in the worst part of town. This will ensure you're not the worst part about the date. And she'll have to rely on you for protection in the shady part of town. And if it's not working out, tell her that you're gay, and at least you'll get a friend out of the situation. Follow for more tips! Are you one step away from becoming a cat lady? Or a guy that owns a ferret? Well, here's some dating tips to help you not look like a freak. Next time you're on your first date, bring a personal assistant with you. And delegate some of the workload by opening the door for her or pulling her chair out. Or personal questions. This will help you focus on what's really important, the food. If there's no chemistry there, have your personal assistant distract her and you go out the emergency exit. Follow for more tips! Here's a tip for you to trick that girl that you like into thinking that you're cool. Let's face it, you're probably not. There's nothing more girls like than a professional fighter. And animals. So tell her you're a professional dog fighter. Guys, girls love surprises. Go rent a cargo van and set up a picnic in the back of it. Make sure it's the kind with no windows. Show up to her apartment in a ski mask and tell her to get in the back of the cargo van. She'll be pleasantly surprised with the gesture once the shock wears off. Follow for more dating tips! Want to know how to save hundreds of dollars a year? Go to Walmart and buy a 12-pack of whitey-tidy underwear. Go home and put your old dirty underwear in the package. Go back to customer service to return them. Now, they may ask you why there's more skid marks in a NASCAR track. Stick to your story and tell them that they came that way. And they'll give you a full refund. Do this 3 or 4 times a year and you're set and you don't ever have to do laundry. Follow for more tips! Here's your sales tip for the day. Because we know you suck at sales. Time you have a meeting with a client, wear mirrored glasses. One of those gangster chains and hang a mirror from it. This is called mirroring your customer. 1, it helps build rapport and they see themselves in you. Literally. 2, they can't see that you fell asleep because they're so freaking boring. Follow for more tips! Here's a sales tip for plumbers. Go to all your local restaurants and hand out business cards. After that, sneak into the restroom and take an absolute massive dump. And clog their toilet with so much toilet paper. And go ahead and climb out that bathroom window. And you're going to be getting a call in about 20 minutes. Follow for more sales tips! Here's your sales tip for the day. Because you suck. Make the customer feel sorry for you. What I like to do is pretend my arm's broken and wear a fake cast. Tell them a sob story that might not necessarily be true. Like you just got mugged or your grandma just died. And if they still haven't bought anything from you, pretend to trip and fall and pour scalding hot coffee all over yourself. And then threaten to sue them if they don't buy from you. Follow for more sales tips! Are you sick of girls not noticing you because you have such an average-looking face? Or you're straight up ugly? Well, here's a dating tip to help you stand out in the crowd. Peacocking! What I like to do is wear a 3-foot cowboy hat. Or straight up wear a cape. Because we know girls love cowboys. And superheroes. This tactic will only help you strike up an initial conversation. It won't change how bad your personality is. So if you start to choke, tell her you gotta go fight crime. Or you have a cow that's on the loose. Follow for more! Here's some dating tips for you short fellas. You getting sick of getting overshadowed by taller dudes? Next time on your first date, you want to overcompensate by wearing 2-foot lifts or even stilts. She asks you why the heck you're wearing stilts. Tell her you're trying out for the circus. This will show her that you're brave and motivated. If you want to take it to the next level, do a little peacocking by wearing a 3-foot hat. And this doubles up as an alpha move if you wear it at the theater. It shows her that you're not afraid to face conflict. Follow for more! Girls love alphas. If you're sick of being a beta, this video will show you how to fake it. Next time you go out with a girl, wear a tap-out t-shirt. Do not forget to cut off the sleeves. Subliminally make her think that you know how to fight and protect her. Little does she know you got the crap beat out of you by your little brother. Heck, show her you own the roads by tailgating everybody. This will show her that you won't let anybody disrespect you. Be sure to honk everybody, even little grandma next to you. When you get to the restaurant, if any guy makes eye contact with your girl, try to start a fight, including the server. You may think he's trying to get her order, but he's trying to take her affection. Follow for more! Thinking of joining a new gym? And are you intimidated by all those steroid boys? To overcome that, first thing you gotta do is establish dominance. So find the biggest sucker in the gym. It's easy to spot because every vein's popping out of his forehead. Go over to him and spot him, even if he insists he doesn't need it. This is an alpha move because daddy always knows what's best for his children. 2, be as loud as possible. Slam your weights on the ground. Groan after every single rep. Blast your air horn every time you hit a PR. And last, mark your territory by not wiping down any of the gym equipment after you use it. This will leave your signature smell on everything. This is the equivalent of a dog marking his territory. Follow for more! Before your first date, ask her if she likes to swim. Then tell her you're going to take her diving and then a picnic. And have her pick you up and drive you to the back of Whole Foods. Then provide her with a pair of goggles. And then have her dumpster dive for items for your picnic. Make sure she keeps a lookout for overripe bananas. Bread with a little blue cheese growing on it. And expired grape juice. Sometimes you get lucky because it's fermented. This will keep your overhead low on the date and you won't be spending anything. Also, it'll keep her expectations low for future dates with you. Follow for more! Guys, does your resume suck? Here's one way to beef it up before your next interview. Put down you're your girl's executive assistant because you're always fetching her something from the kitchen, listening to how bad her day was, and giving her the best back massages. But do not put that down because that gives off Weinstein vibes. Follow for more! To impress the girl on your first date, tell her you've held down a stable job for 2 years and have gotten promoted twice over the past year. Just withhold the information that was in The Sims. Brag to her how good you are at Fortnite. Talk about how good your KD ratio is. Tell her you stand up for yourself in the lobbies and how you talk so much trash to those 12-year-old kids. Last, be upfront with her and let her know your true priorities. Let her know that she'll always be second to gaming with the boys. Before your next interview, buy Taco Bell for the entire office. And then 10 minutes into the interview, excuse yourself. Barricade yourself in the restroom. And in about 5 minutes, that Taco Bell's going to be running through them like NFL linebackers. They will be beating on that door and begging for their life to get in that restroom. First, give them an ultimatum. Have them slip a contract under the door that guarantees you get the job. This play forces their hand and they've got 1 or 2 options. Either hire you or they're going to have to buy a new suit. Follow for more! Want to know how to get out of any ticket? At all times, carry with you chocolate pudding and fart spray. And when you get pulled over for doing 90 in a school zone, immediately smear chocolate pudding all over your face, steering wheel, and everywhere. And unload that bottle of fart spray. And when the cop gets to your window, sway back and forth and say, I didn't make it, I didn't make it. They're going to start gagging and they're going to immediately retreat back to their car. Follow for more! You always wanted to graduate from Fry Academy? Well, here's how to kick that next job interview in the frickin' teeth. To get past the nerves, you want to break the ice. I do that by starting out with a joke. One about their mother. Because those are relatable to everybody. Well, except orphans. Next, confidence is key. Only talk about yourself in this interview. When they ask you where you want to be in 5 years, tell them you want to be in their seat firing you. This will show you're ready for upper level management and not afraid to face conflict. Fun for more! You always wanted to be that creepy janitor at the local high school. Next time in your interview, when they ask you what you do for volunteer work, tell them you take your wife out once a month for dinner. You let her order off the main menu and not just get an appetizer. For brownie points, tell them you're part of a super secret club. Sam's Club. If you're bombing the interview, I like to pull out a Hail Mary. Imply that something bad will happen to them if they don't hire you. Follow for more tips! A tip that'll help you nail your next interview. In your next interview, bring the biggest cup possible. I like to bring a Route 44 from Sonic. And what you want to do, you want to slurp the entire time. This is a straight up alpha move. For one, you have the biggest cup in the room and everyone envies you. Two, they know you know the value of buying in bulk. Follow for more tips! Want to find out if she's the one? Have a janitor at the local high school to let you in after hours. Tell her you've got a surprise for her. She's probably thinking it's a date, but it's actually a test. Have her go to the kitchen and fire up those commercial grade ovens. Then proceed to have her cook for about 20 people. This is to make sure she's ready to host your family for the holidays. After the Gordon Ramsay style cooking competition, go to the gymnasium. Have her sweep the entire gym floor. Then you inspect it with a fine-tooth comb. And if you find one speck of dust, then she's probably not the one. Follow for more! Have you always wanted to be a hipster, but you haven't had daddy's money to fund your dream? Well, here's a tip to help you break into that scene without breaking the bank. There's two known staples for hipsters, fake glasses and beard oil. Beard oil costs thousands per year. What I like to do is go down to McDonald's and bribe a fry cook to save you some of that cooking oil when they clean out the grease traps. I usually bribe them with a pack of cigarettes. One, you're going to smell familiar to everyone and they just can't put their finger on it what it is. And two, you'll have something to snack on throughout the day when you find little bits of fries in your beard. Follow for more! If you're not early, you're late. Next time you go to an interview, show up early. 8 hours early. Break into your interviewer's office and spend the night. I like to cook them breakfast on my George Foreman grill. When they show up and see that their door's kicked in, they're going to ask you why you committed a felony level breaking and entering. Tell them you'll do whatever it takes to work for this company. Follow for more! Are you alone on Valentine's Day? Here's how to trick that girl you like into not being absolutely repulsed by you. Go to Tractor Supply and buy some pheromone spray. This will kick in her primal instinct into thinking that you're actually attractive. A warning though, don't get around livestock, they'll try to mount you. Follow for more! After your first date, drop her off about a mile from her house. And then peel out and wait for her at her front door. This'll ensure she gets her much needed exercise. And she'll be willing to kiss you after that long, lonely walk. Follow for more!